If you are still buying Alfredo sauce in a jar from the store, stop right now. What I'm gonna show you today is gonna radically change your pasta eating experience. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Crystal. My name is Crystal Keim. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you one of my all-time favorite, simplest recipes ever. It's one that my dad taught me. He probably learned it from somewhere, but it is homemade Alfredo sauce, and it is the easiest thing to make and one of the most delicious things. You can put it on pastas, you can put it on green beans, you can do all sorts of yummy stuff with it. Eat it by itself. It's so good. But I'm going to show you how to make it today, so let's get into the kitchen and get cooking. For this recipe, you will be needing milk, some cream cheese, a tub of Parmesan, some butter, salt and pepper, and a little bit of nutmeg. And if you want to make more of this recipe and have more sauce and creaminess, which I'm going to do today, you simply double your cream cheese, your butter, and your Parmesan cheese. The first thing that you will place in your skillet is going to be your butter. And remember, I am doubling my recipe. So you will use 1 stick, or you can use 2 like me and get lots of creaminess. So you are going to let your butter melt. Next, after you put your butter in, you're going to be adding your cream cheese. You can let this set out a little bit. It will be easier to mix in. Just let it get a little bit soft. If you don't worry about it. It will still melt just fine. Just might take a little bit longer. Now, your butter does not have to be fully melted to add your cream cheese. You can go ahead and add it. You can go ahead and add it in the melting process. So what you can begin to do is kind of cutting your cream cheese up with your spoon. Help it kind of melt a little faster. If you wanted to, you could cube this up before you put it in. Might help along the process. That's a good idea. I might do that. I've never done that. So you can see here my butter's starting to boil a little bit, so I'm going to back the heat down just a little bit so we can get the cream cheese melted too. Now, one thing I want to make sure to mention is make sure that you're using a real butter, not a margarine or something like that. And the better quality butter that you buy, the more flavor that your Alfredo is going to have. Alrighty, as everything starts to break down, you're gonna go ahead and add your cheese. You'll probably want to switch to a whisk at this point. So I'm gonna add 1 tub of cheese first. As you'll see, it'll get very thick and almost solidify a little bit. So you'll add your cheeses. I'm gonna save a little bit for topping. Okay, and then you'll want to add your milk almost right away after you kind of get the cheese coated, because it will get very thick very fast. So you just go ahead and add your milk quite a bit. You'll want to add it pretty thick, enough to coat everything that's in there, about the same level of what's in there. And you can see as I added the milk, it's already starting to kind of make a creamy sauce, and you just keep mixing. You'll kind of want to keep it on a medium or a medium low at this point, and you'll just mix it until everything is good and melted. Now, as you can see here, it's starting to get pretty thick and not everything is melted, so I can see that I'm going to have to add some more milk. And as far as how much milk, you'll just add milk till it's the texture that you want it to be. So if it's really thick, like this is more like a gravy, I want to add a little bit more milk. And just add a little at a time till you get to the thickness that you want. So, and you'll just keep stirring until everything seems good and melted and mixed together. All of this butter here will begin to mix in as it melts. So again, you can see this is getting very thick on me. I'm gonna add a little more milk. So you can see here most of the bits are now melted down and you have a nice creamy consistency. At this point, you're going to want to salt and pepper to taste. So here's my salt. Now your salt level may be different depending on whether you use a salted butter or an unsalted butter. You just will have to taste it to determine if it's the saltiness that you desire. And then we will add a little black pepper. And then for the nutmeg, you just want to add a very little. Now this is optional, you don't have to do this, but it does add a little nutty note to it. Just a tiny sprinkle, not a whole lot. And then you're going to whisk that all together. Make sure it's mixed thoroughly. And that gives you that nice pepper look. Your sauce. And that is it. All right guys, I'm Crystal Keim. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. This stuff is so good. I could just eat it like soup. If you like this video, be sure to like it. Also, be sure to check out the playlist here that is more of my recipes, and also the playlist down here that is more about my garden and the things that I grow. All right, I'll see you guys next time. So good, I gotta go get more.
Hello, it's Chloe, and I'm making cheese. We made it like extra cheese, so we can make butter noodles, and it's my favorite.